Hello people of YouTube, my name is Brad, this is my channel Animate Orange, and this week in 3D metal model news. Fascinations, Piececool, and even MU seem to be sort of sleeping this week. I didn't see anything new from either of those or any of those three sites. I've been going to the three of those a lot here lately because they've been posting at least one new thing, but this week there's nothing new. Turning to Aliexpress, after a little bit of a search, I did find a couple of other new things, one of which, two new models from Picture Kingdom. Interesting new models. We talked a little bit sometime back about I believe it was a candy house and a Frankenstein's house. Well, now we have a vampire house from Picture Kingdom, so it continues to go with that sort of Halloweenish theme, which I find kind of interesting. We have the Vampire House, which says it's 3 sheets, 135 by 190 millimeters, 70 by 70 by 100 millimeters tall when completed. So a fairly sizable model, not huge, but fairly sizable. 4 out of 7 star difficulty, and the price is about $62 US. I didn't really see if it's stainless steel or brass or a combination thereof. I think it's probably all kind of stainless steel and painted. It's a neat looking model. I did also find it interesting they list the 3 sheets as all being the same size, though it looks like they have a picture of the sheets that don't all seem to be the same size. Not a big deal, I don't think, but an interesting detail. And then we also have the Pumpkin House, which I almost missed. It is 93 by 79 by 80 millimeters tall when completed. It is 4 sheets, 135 by 190 millimeters, according to the information there. 4 out of 7 star difficulty, and also about $62 US to buy this model. Both of these look really neat. I'm very much interested. I think it'd be cool to get and put together and just have as a novelty thing. All 4 of these models, I think they're pretty cool. 4 out of 7 stars. Fair amount of difficulty, but not too bad. They don't look complicated, though eyes can be deceiving. The one thing that really sets me off, especially about these 2 new models, $62 for this model. They're not tiny models, but they're not big models. For $62, we're talking in the realm of an MU Transformers model, and they're pretty big, so I don't, maybe I've got the size wrong. I mean, they got a picture of them beside lipstick, so they don't look that big, but they're not tiny models. But I can't help but to think $62, that's kind of off-putting. I'd love to buy these models. The previous ones were about $30, which is, not too bad, but a little high. It's certainly not a cheap model. I think that includes free shipping, but $62 is really off-putting to me, and it really makes me stop and not buy it. I'd love to buy these models and put them together and just have these neat little Halloween decorative pieces. Even outside of Halloween, they're just kind of cool and neat looking and very colorful and just different. But the price range is really putting me off, especially with the newest 2. Continuing on from that, I did see a couple of new Iron Star models on Crazy Toys website, both their website and their Aliexpress store. And they're very similar to the previous Iron Star models I talked about with the greenery and whatnot. We have the House of Mirth, which has a finished size listed of 13 by 9.8 by 8.5 centimeters, which they translated for me 5.1 by 3.9 by 3.3 inches. 5 sheets that are about 22 by 11 centimeters, 7 star difficulty, and they also, like before, come with the greenery, the glue. Looks like a little bottle of the blue stuff that you use for water. Talked about before, you kind of squirt that in there. It's like a gel, and it solidifies over time, or not, yeah, more or less solidifies over time. And even has LED kits, which I've heard very mixed things about the LED kits not being that great. Not even sure I'd say mixed. I've heard that they're not that great. But an interesting addition to the collection. We also have the Star Pastoral Life, as it's listed on Crazy Toys store and website. Finished size of 18 by 12 by 6.5 centimeters, or 7.1 by 4.7 by 2.6 inches. 4 sheets, 7 star difficulty, and it also has the glue, the greenery, the water, the LED kit, And both of these are about $38 US on Aliexpress. With the extra bits that come with it, I think that's a very reasonable price. I don't normally bring up what I think of the price, but that it's really on the top of my head right now, forefront of my mind, because of the $60 for the Pumpkin House and the Dracula house just seems a bit much. But pastoral life, first I thought pastor is in like church or clergyman or religious, but I think maybe looking at it, it's more pasture as in field or out in the country, or farmer, because it kind of looks more like a farmer life. So maybe that was not translated the best. It's currently 2 in the morning where I'm at, so I don't know it's the greatest time to send out emails and ask other people what to translate for me. And I've got to get this finished up before I head to work here soon. So I'm sure that someone will chime in the comments down below that will clarify a little bit on the Star Pastoral Life and the House of Mirth and maybe what they mean. If you do, thank you very much in advance. But that is what I have new this week as far as new models. Now moving on to question of the week. Last week we talked about the Hulkbuster model, and basically I asked the question if there were any like Marvel models that you would like to see that we don't already have. And I got a few responses. Christopher Thorpe. Hi Brad, I would quite like to see different Iron Man suits from the original debut up to current armor, as others have mentioned Stark Tower and Ultron model would be well received. Ultron, I didn't think about that. Ultron would be an interesting model to have, and other people did say that. I'm not reading these in any particular order, just the order they were presented to me when I went to look for them this morning. But Ultron, I asked this question, there really wasn't much in my head as far as what Marvel models I would like to see. My head was everywhere else. But Ultron sounds like a pretty neat idea. Nick Perez, an Ultron model would be awesome, and definitely Stark Tower. Stark Tower is another model I did not think of. Stark Tower would be a pretty interesting model to have. And then wasn't there also the Stark's home, that ended up getting blown off the cliff? Might be an interesting one to have there. But Stark Tower, not a bad idea. Logan Springer. There are a lot of Marvel models that Piececool could make. Personally, I think Piececool should make a Hulk version of the Iron Man model they just released. They would definitely put a lot of detail into that model, and I think it would sell well. Or a Groot model would be pretty cool. So Groot, we had some of these, like Groot and some other characters, as Legends models, and Legends models didn't work out. A full-size Groot model, even a baby Groot, might be pretty interesting. John V. Just like Hogwarts and the Infinity Gauntlets, Din would be an instant buy. After finishing the other Hulkbuster, not sure I have it in me to tackle this one. I'm not sure if Din was maybe a misspelling for Odin, or maybe I'm being dense there, but I'm not exactly sure what Din meant, unless maybe Odin would be an instant buy. I missed something there. Max Musterman. I think Stark Avengers Tower would be pretty neat. A helicarrier, the spaceship from Guardians of the Galaxy, or Thanos would also make great models. I would be perfectly fine with reasonable size models too. 15 sheets is a bit hefty. Yeah, 15 sheets for that Hulkbuster model, that's pretty intimidating actually. That's a pretty hefty model. We're surpassing, I don't know, depending on the size of the sheet. I was about to say we're surpassing like MU Transformers models, but those sheets were pretty big. So if they're regular Piececool size sheets, some of these Transformers models had 9 large sheets. Well, 9 sheets, some of them were small, some of them were large, but if you were all split them to the same size as a Piececool size sheet, you might be talking somewhere along the lines of 15 sheets. So yeah, it's pretty intimidating. A helicarrier, I was thinking that in the back of my head. The helicarrier would be a neat model. The ship from Guardians in the Galaxy, their ship, that would be pretty cool, as well as others. There are different things you could tap into there as far as ships are concerned. You say spaceships and I'm all ears. I've said it before, I love sci-fi ships. So yeah, there's some interesting areas that they can go there with those different models. Not to say that, you know, Metal Earth hasn't done some interesting ones already. The Hulkbuster is interesting, but where do we go from here? Interesting, interesting, interesting. I keep using that word. I should stop. Thank you everyone for your feedback. I've got a similar question this week, a sort of what do you think of this idea, or what models would you like to see, kind of along those lines, because I'm sitting here looking at these Halloween themed models. At first it was just 2 and it didn't quite catch on, and then with 2 more and Halloween being around the corner, I thought, alright, so we've got a holiday themed model set. And we've kind of done some Christmas themes models in the past, or at least other manufacturers have. What do you think of the idea of holiday themed models? Is it a good idea, or is it just too gimmicky? I'm running this through my head as I'm asking this question, and most holidays I think might be a bit too gimmicky. Christmas models, Easter models, I think would be maybe even poor taste. Halloween, though, I can kind of see it. I kind of think these 4 Halloween themed models from Picture Kingdom are neat, just a bit pricey. And that's going to count it out for me just because I have so many things I want to build already. But it is tempting. $30 is a lot more tempting than $60. But yeah, what do you think of Halloween themed models? And I guess what are holiday themed, I should say. What do you think of holiday themed models, and what holidays do you think would make neat models? Share your ideas in the comments below. Kind of a cheesy question this week, but there we go. Oh, and one more thing before I go. In a previous video I had talked about At Play Toys giving me a coupon code that I could give out. You could use one time for 10% off, and I made the mistake of adding too many letters to that code. Someone emailed me and called me on that. The discount code, the coupon code, as far as I know, it has no current expiration date, but that could change, is KOKO10. Supposed to be short for Keep On Keeping On, but Keep On Keeping On was too long. I had said KOKO10 off. Don't put the off. It's KOKO10. I think the off made it too long too. My mistake. I apologize for that. I did put a post up correcting that, but just in case you didn't see that post, there it is. It's KOKO10. As far as I know, the code is still valid. And again, there's a link in the description down below if you want to help this channel out. Use that link to go to At Play Toys, and it gives this channel a little bit of a kickback and helps fund this channel. So that's another way you can support this channel other than Patreon. Far as I can tell, it doesn't increase the price of your models any. If you notice that, please let me know, but I don't think it does. It just kind of, it's a referral bonus. You know, I'm referring people to the store, and they're giving me a little bit of a kickback for doing so. So right now, win-win. I'm going to leave it at that. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters for continuing to support this channel. Thank you to everyone who leaves comments. I appreciate it. Even though I don't always get back to you, I at least read them. I apologize for not getting back time. Sometimes it's a break at work and I'm reading comments and I'm like, that's really cool. And then the response that I have is I'm just not typing it on the phone, or I don't have time, and I apologize. But thank you for commenting. Thank you for watching. And as always, keep on keeping on.